If you are a business owner, consultant, coach, or expert who can't seem to reach the next level of growth in your business, I want to talk to you about how publishing a book will boost your business. And in today's episode, I'm going to cover 7 ways that you can easily leverage a book to do just that, boost your business. Be sure to stick around until the end of the episode, as I will be answering a listener question on how large your social media following needs to be. This is Your Path to Publish. I'm your host, Zach Christensen. For the past decade, our team has guided authors just like you to find the best path to publish your book, get people excited to buy it even before it launches, and to turn it into the ultimate business card to build your business and your legacy. If you are ready to get your book out of your head and into people's hands, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. I had the opportunity to work at Franklin Covey for close to 10 years. That's where I learned the business of self-help and business book publishing, and their flagship book is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It may surprise you, but that book wasn't an instant multi-million and now in the tens of millions business book bestseller. It took time, consistent promotion, and I heard a lot of the stories of what it took to build the business, build the training behind the book, and get the book out there to become the book that it has been today. One thing that the book continues to do is to boost Franklin Covey's business. That book probably on average, I would estimate, sells between 3,000 to 5,000 copies per week in the retail channels. And that's amazing to have a backlist book that's over 30 years old to continue to do that. And having a book of your own can do the same for your business. If you're thinking of writing a book or have already started writing a book for your business, here are 7 ways that you can leverage your book to boost your business. First, it is the ultimate business card. Now, we don't really pass around business cards much anymore, but what the book does, even more than what business cards used to do, is it portrays a degree of trust. It's a signal that you are an expert and authority on the topic of your book. And in today's world, we're always looking to take shortcuts. Our mind wants to take shortcuts. And I think as we are looking to make decisions better, more effectively, having ways that we can take a shortcut to reduce the amount of mental power that we make on decisions, the more valuable that path or method is to us as human beings. And a book really does that. And even if people don't read a book fully, by you as a consultant, as an expert, by just having a book, helps build that trust and that signal and that ultimate business card to help people trust you and want to work with you. Next is being featured on podcasts. There are millions of podcasts out there, and many of them are always looking for new guests. And the value that you bring as a guest is the value that you bring to their podcast and the value that they hope they can bring to their listeners. So as they're looking for guests, especially as their podcast grows and they get more selective, you can leverage your book to be featured as a guest on a podcast, which expands your reach, and it's an in-depth way to go on even further to what you do, where people are actively listening to you. Next is being a keynote speaker. If you've thought about getting into the speaking circuit and being able to leverage keynotes and the value that you can provide and the value for your business, a book is a great way to grab the open spot within a company, within a conference. And for many authors, as soon as they publish a book, they can raise their speaking rates by at least 50%, if not double their keynote speaking rates. How would you like that as an author to be able to go in, have your book, and immediately go from $5,000 to $10,000 in a keynote? The fourth way you can leverage your book is to have a free download of the ebook on your website, or even better, have a free hard copy of the book that you can send and that they only pay for the shipping of it. Now, this is a little bit easier if you're self-publishing your book because you can get books at nearly print cost, and usually the shipping that you would charge covers the cost of the book to print and the shipping cost. And by using this method as well, you're getting more information than just a name and an email address. You're getting a shipping address and a phone number. So this gives you greater leverage to understand who is a higher quality lead that you can reach out to. Another effective thing I've seen authors do is do partnerships. Partnerships at conferences, partnerships on podcasts, partnerships at events, and being able to work together as authors that have a very similar audience, but where you offer very different services that are related and could be leveraged together. Number 6 is the reach and repetition of your author brand and business brand improves. A book helps you to become more known for a certain topic, and you start to be associated more with a topic. And as I mentioned earlier, the shortcuts that people take in making decisions, if they need, let's say, time management or leadership or manager or helping with understanding bias and unconscious bias within organizations or culture, you start become associated with those more general terms because of your book, because it helps leverage what comes to mind for people. And then the last one, number 7, which is honestly my most favorite, is the impact on people's lives. We only have a certain amount of time every day and only a certain amount of time in our schedule every day. And for you as authors, you've created a story, you created a methodology, a process to help transform people's lives. And it may be helping them streamline their accounting better, or it may be helping them have stronger relationships with their family. And what I love about that impact is that when someone reads your book, you have their full attention usually, and you're able to engage them. You're able to help shift their mindset of how they might look at something and how you are going to be able to help make their life better. If that book of yours is sitting on the shelf, finish it and get it out there so that you can leverage it to boost your business and impact lives. If you're feeling stuck, I have a resource for you. One of the best things authors can do is create a writing routine. And we have a writing routine guide at Juxtabook. You can download a free copy of it by going to juxtabook.com/writing routine. So head there today and download a copy of that. On the next episode, I'm going to go over a very important thing. It is the one thing that you must know about your ideal book readers. Without following this and knowing what this is, your book may not be as impactful as you've expected. Now let's jump into our listener questions. If you have a question about a recent episode or a topic that you would like to know about with book publishing, visit juxtabook.com/yourpath-to-publish, and you can click the appropriate button to leave your question, and we'll answer it in a future episode.
I don't love being on social media, but I've heard that to become an author and really promote your books, you must have a really strong following on social media. What's your advice to someone like me who really doesn't want to spend a lot of time on social media, but knows it's vital to their career?
I am thrilled by this question because it challenges a common assumption that to succeed as an author, you need a massive social following. Let's go deeper into the underlying assumptions underneath this question. So what do people really mean when they say they need a large social presence to promote a book or any product for that matter? I would argue it's because they believe that's where their potential buyers are. And maybe if you're not thinking that, maybe it's just because everybody else is doing it, so that must be correct. But here's the real question for authors. Where are your buyers actually hanging out? That's why it's crucial to understand your audience. If you don't know who your audience is, you are not going to know where to find them. If you do know that, it could mean that you need a large following to reach those buyers and engage with them. But there are always many different paths to engage with your audience. Once you identify where your buyers are hanging out, you can figure out how to engage with them. This could be just posting consistently on social media and interacting with your audience on the comments and likes on your posts. Beyond that, it could be engaging with your audience on their posts and commenting and liking and doing it sincerely and thoroughly. It could be finding the groups where your audience hangs out, attending events, whether virtual or in person. And by engaging in each of these events or groups or with these individuals, if you do it consistently, you become known as the expert in the group, as the high contributor. If you're doing this on Facebook or LinkedIn, you're going to see that there's different badges being awarded to people that have top contributor voices. Or within Facebook groups, there's ones that show top contributors. And on the admin back end pages of Facebook groups, you can see who's contributing the most. And those who are the admins over those groups may see, oh, this person's contributing a lot. I want to feature them for an event that I have coming up. So if you're hesitant about spending time on social media, my advice is this. Whatever time you do have and whatever you have energy for, be consistent with it. Ensure that the content that you are sharing resonates with your audience and that you're providing value. Remember, posting more doesn't necessarily equate to more book sales. Dovetailing on that, as an author, you need to understand what it is you are providing. If you're a coach or a consultant, your book might be a tool for building your business. If you're a fiction writer, you're offering a story, a form of entertainment. Knowing what you provide and where to talk about it is crucial. Even if you have a large social media following, you need to strive to capture your audience's attention further. I advocate for an email list because you have more control over what is being sent and what is being seen. People still have to choose to open it, but you know that it's landing in some view of your audience without being subject to an algorithm that is changing daily. So to wrap up, do you really need a large social following? Perhaps, perhaps not. Again, the deeper question is understanding why you're using social media and the assumptions you're making underneath it. Once you know where your readers are, consider how you're going to engage with them. And finally, move people from casual engagement to a more highly engaged environment where you can communicate directly with them. Those people are going to become your raving fans, and they're the ones that are going to buy your book and be your promoters and help you get where you want to go. Thanks for listening today and spending your time with me. Go out there, dust off your manuscript, and turn it into a bestseller that grows your business.